You could having the best skill automation person, if you don't know how to sell, you're not gonna make any money.
Atena Pegler is the founder of Risk-Free Marketing. She also founded and built the AIpreneurs community to over 9,000 members across 110 countries in just a few short months, making it one of the fastest growing AI communities in the world, and later launched the AIpreneurs Business Lab SaaS, which has generated over $1 million in subscriptions since September 2024. She is a recognized prompt engineer and Woman in Digital Most Innovative finalist. Atena is on a mission to make AI simple, practical, and accessible so more businesses don't just survive, but thrive in this new AI era.
We are sitting inside of a $46 million mansion that is currently your home. You've built a $20 million business, and you've done it in 2 years as a mother of two from Australia, as an AI entrepreneur.
It's all about making money at the end of the day. If you have competitors, it's a blessing because they literally did all of the heavy lifting. They did all the work. They spent all of the money.
Absolutely.
We could capture them immediately, within like a few minutes, basically. And we captured all of the data, email, the phone number. We capture all of the financial data, the home address and stuff. It's all legal.
I've never had anybody bring a calculator on the podcast before.
You could literally set up to say, I want to have 1,000 leads a day. As long as there's enough search volume for that keyword, you can capture all of them.
Beautiful.
So with 10 clients, you make 800K. This is basically the model we teach to everyone. Look at the AI engineers in OpenAI and Google. Their salaries are $100 million a year. So you're selling yourself too cheap.
Where are some of the places where they usually fail? What are the trip-ups that they usually make when people come in and they want to transform their lives, but they trip up?
Okay, that's just like a secret, so write it down. Have a pen and paper and write it down. What about the last 12 months that you've been learning these skills? And what about all of the sacrifices it's hard to build skills? And what about the thousands of dollars that you paid to me for our software, for this and that? You're not considering any of that?
Tina, welcome to the podcast. You've had quite a journey. For people that are listening to this podcast, we are sitting inside of a $46 million mansion that is currently your home. You've built a $20 million business, and you've done it in 2 years as a mother of two from Australia, as an AI entrepreneur who is on a mission to empower 1 million entrepreneurs with AI inside their business. So I'd love to talk with you about your journey, your struggles, your stripes, your lessons, and hopefully inspire some listeners and viewers to be able to learn from this and hopefully take a similar path.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was incredible. I think we met at the Skool HQ when we did a mastermind.
Yeah.
You gave some epic advice as one of the mentors, talking about what people can do to really build communities and build AI and build communities with that together. Can you talk to me a bit about first your mission of empowering 1 million entrepreneurs with automation and AI?
Yes. So the mission basically started with after seeing, because I used to be a mentor in one of the biggest startup hubs in Australia for entrepreneurs. And I've just seen so many businesses that just failed. And literally, I was a digital marketing mentor, and you wouldn't see them next year. And because they just all fail. And I always knew that it must be a way. And also the thing that actually pulled the trigger for me to be my why and created that whole thing is that I also lost one of my best friends who took her life, unfortunately. And she was an entrepreneur, so we had a business together. That's all happened. And I was always like, it's been a few years that I've been searching for a solution to come to be able to make the entrepreneurship easier. Because every entrepreneurs in this world, they are the parents, they got a family, there are other people relying on them, they got employees. So there's a lot of the people affected by one person. And when an entrepreneur fails, unfortunately, it's not just one person, it's just the whole family, friends, the groups, the employees that going to be rely on them. Yeah, and AI was basically the solution. That's when the ChatGPT launches all started with that obsession and having that something that I was always looking for about how can we make it easier? How can we make the business easier in general? Like why it has to be so difficult? And then, yeah, it's all started when ChatGPT launched 2022 and I got absolutely obsessed with it and I started exploring a lot of different solutions and options and softwares and basically how we can revolutionize the marketing with AI because, yeah, number one reason for businesses fail because they don't have any clients. And that's the number one biggest bottleneck for every entrepreneur. But being out there to be able to find the clients and make it easy execution.
Wow, there is a lot to unpack inside of there. And it sounds like you've gone through a lot. I think a lot of people see people in certain positions and where they're at, like, oh, must have been easy, especially being a mother of two. How do you find the time? Let's start there, and then we're going to talk into all the other stuff. But how do you find the time as a mother, too, to be able to actually build a business like this?
The answer is quite simple. I just work harder than everyone else. It's not that difficult. I am, obviously I have the motherhood, but if you think about the 24 hours we have in a day, how much waste of time everyone have. Checking social media hours a day, waking up 7 a.m. or wake up like 3 a.m. every morning. So I make up for it by actually sacrificing other areas of the life, not wasting my time, not doing much going out. I haven't even watched a movie for 2 years. So you can just read through the end. I would say optimizing the time is still possible. But it's not easy. I would say that working hard is not easy, but as long as you enjoy what you're doing and you have a mission and you have a strong why, you just keep going.
Yeah, what it makes me think of is, we won't go super technical, but templates inside N8N is that a lot of entrepreneurs or a lot of automation experts, they go and they invest time and energy to build out these crazy advanced templates that took them a lot of time to make the lives easier for other people to just copy and paste and install it. It sounds like that's a bit of what you did inside the business, primarily around lead generation, marketing, and advertising, and using AI to do those fronts. And so I totally get in terms of being a leader or being an entrepreneur, is being willing to invest more than other people to carve a path for other people to go through it. So what I'd like to know about is, especially around AI, advertising, marketing, what were some of the things that you've done in that category to make the lives easier for people to go behind you?
Yes. So we train hundreds of students to actually train them about how to become the AI marketing agency specialist or AI advertising agency. Some of them, they call themselves AAA. Some of them call themselves AMA. That's basically the thing. But the things that we've done, obviously there's a lot of things with the N8N they could do that the other things on platform could also work with N8N. So N8N, yes, that's an automation platform, but then got integration with the GHO, with our software, and a lot of things that coming up. But yeah, I would say that the lead generation, the reason that we could succeed in such a short period of time is because we just built a crazy AI technology ourselves that obviously work with the N8N and other automation tools and stuff that actually generate the leads for you. So how it works is that based on like a high intent buyer in the search engine that looking for any particular services, we capture them within a few minutes and we create an ideal profile. And then you can also integrate it with all of the different platforms through API. And then you could basically go and omni-channel marketing to them, like through the call outreach, retargeting, contacting them. So basically, it's like a lead generation problem has been resolved. And there's a lot of things like, this has nothing to do with the template, because you mentioned about template. But when it comes to template and automation and stuff, one of the things that it's actually very, very secret sauce, I would say, not many people know about it, is the best use of the automations and template and AI could do is for modeling. So that's one of the things that we created with AI, that you could basically say, Tony Robbins, if you want to succeed, model someone who already succeeded. So basically what you want to do is that if you want to build a business and you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you're going to say, okay, let me just find about someone else that is successful in a similar industry, and I'll go model them from start to finish. I'll model the marketing, I'll model the sales, I'll model the entire funnel, the emails, the ads, like everything that they do. And that's what the AI can do for you, and automation. It's like modeling everything with AI. And because when you model, you're skipping the trial and error, and it's highly likely when you launch a campaign, it's going to succeed in Facebook, because look at your competitors as is a blessing. If you have competitors, a blessing, because they literally did all of the heavy lifting. They did all the work. They spent all of the money to try hundreds of different hooks, hundreds of different campaigns. They found something that finally worked, and you can literally go with AI and model them in a matter of no time. So this is something like a biggest secret sauce, I would say, when it comes to the marketing. But I can just talk about marketing, not too much about other area of that, because obviously that's what we specialize on. We leverage AI for.
I will say something when you go into that is, when you talk about modeling, you talk about modeling success, part of that is, with templates, you create a model, you carve a pathway, then other people can follow behind that super easily, which is powerful. And also that's a little bit of meta when we're talking about what we're doing here, because one of the things that I do is I interview people that have been successful in these categories, whether they've done big schools or run big agencies. And inside of here, it's part of this deconstructing insights and mindsets and tactics and processes and pathways to inspire other people to go behind it. One, to let them know what's possible, and two, for them to model success and what that looks like. And while part of it is leveraging technology to get a high ROI, I've seen it come up as a constant theme, is being able to leverage your time and just being able to say no to a lot of those distractions in your life to make those things happen. So we're going to probably get into the mindset of things in a little bit, but jumping back to the AI and You talked about there's AAA, which is an AI automation agency, and
No, it's not AI automation. It's AI advertising agency.
Oh, I know it as AI automation agency.
It's not me. That's a different brand.
This is a note of a niche specific market here.
I know.
Okay, so we're talking about AI advertising.
It's the same thing basically, because the AI advertising agency is like a leveraging automation, but not just automation, automation alongside the lead generation.
Okay.
That's why we call it AI advertising agency, because you specialize in marketing niche specifically.
Sure.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about in terms of the technology that you created, there was a ability to be able to, as soon as someone raises a hand for a search intent and says, hey, I'm interested in this, you're able to gather that lead's data. And it sounds like you can enrich it across several platforms. And then you use automation, run it through the pipeline, and then ingest it into whatever CRM you have, could be Go High Level.
Yeah.
And then you're allowed to then omni-channel market back through.
Exactly.
Because they've already raised their hand and said, hey, I'm interested in said service.
100%. That's the whole journey. So basically, that's why our software with N8N together, that would be a very strong platform, because then we generate the leads. So AI will go and find the leads for you based on that. High intent buyers, a search engine, let's say that I'm looking for plumbing in LA, right? It's person that's searching for plumbing in LA, we could capture them immediately within a few minutes, basically. And we capture all of the data, email, the phone number, we capture all of the financial data, the home address stuff. It's all like legal what we're doing. That's why we have the service in the US only, because in the US we're allowed to do that. But then we capture them, then through the automation, you send them to any CRM that you have used, Go High Level ourselves. All of the partners automated, then automatically send them email nurture sequences, you integrate them with Meta, you can do retargeting campaign to them, you could integrate it with LinkedIn, you could actually just send a LinkedIn, all of that process, you capture the lead, the rest is all done by automation. There's nothing manual. You don't capture the lead and say, oh, let me go manually send an email. No, you don't do that, because like the volume that lead creates is like hundreds a day. You could literally set up to say, I want to have 1,000 leads a day. As long as there's enough search volume for that keyword, you can capture all of them. That's the beauty of it. And it's all the game of volume, really.
Yeah, and when you're saying this, I know on the map there's some automations in terms of N8N that you have done, but what you're going to be doing right now with Q1 coming up is you're going to be, I believe, making a community node to be able to make your service publicly available to this kind of audience, which then makes it even easier.
That's right.
Because there's one thing, I always come to lead by what you live. And if you're living through automations and doing these types of things, and then you can lead from that category by opening it up and making it available for other people, whether through templates or through community nodes or any other types of pathways that you've created. And that's part of, I think, leadership, marketing, coaching, guiding, all that.
Yeah, 100%. So that's the plan for Q1. We actually built it somehow in the backend. We just haven't launched it to the users yet. So all of our backends of our software is actually API driven. And N8N is one of them, but it's just not available to the users yet to use it. So the Q1, we're going to launch it to the user. But that's what it is. So they can generate the lead. But currently the lead generation part, actually, you could integrate with N8N. The lead generation part, you could. But okay, so our software, there's 100 tools in there. So the lead generation part, yes, you can integrate with N8N. Like you could integrate with anything currently. But that's not just lead generation. We also have that whole funnel hacking that I just mentioned about. You could basically go model the best. That's another tool, for example. So we have lead hacker, funnel hacker, so combined together. That funnel hacking part, you need to manually go and put someone else's URL. That's basically the funnel, then it will go automatically model it and rewrite it for your business. But then there's no integration. You manually need to go build that funnel, for example, or do any integration. And also, like, we got all the tools for the email campaigns, create a Skool, like there's hundreds of tools, webinars, ads, content creation, all of that. That part is not connected to N8N, or it's not automated. But lead generation part is actually. It is already.
Yeah, so it sounds like part of the process that you've been able to hyper-focus on is the lead gathering and then making it easy for lead nurturing, which is being able to not only reach out to them, but when you bring them through a funnel, how do I model successful funnels?
Exactly. That's the whole thing. So the leads come through, then you send them to other tools. So other tools are able to model, okay, I got the lead. What is the avatar profile I can create using this lead? Now I have the perfect avatar profile. Based on that, I'm going to create ads. I'm going to create email. I'm going to funnel hack into the $1 million funnel that already they have the same avatar profile. Then I'll have my I create content for social media. So you create all of that content and market part, and you have a lead, so you have everything you need. So that's the Q1. That content creation part of it and copywriting part of it is also going to be all API through the N8N. So that become like completely automated, everything.
Beautiful.
From lead coming to generating all of the marketing.
Yeah. And I know you already are in the space of educating entrepreneurs. AAA, we might have different definitions, but we're going to stick with AAA. AMA.
Or AMA.
Yeah, in the space. And you broke the record for the most revenue generated in Skool. Can you talk to me just a little bit about what that was and what you did?
Yes. Yeah, I had that vision. I found out about a Skool May 2024. It's like 1.5 years ago. And I've been a fan of Alex Hormozi for quite many years. I've learned a lot from him. All of his books are obsession. So I never actually thought that, like, me being from Australia, obviously I'm also a migrant. Like, I've been in Australia for 15 years only. I have a bit of accent. And being a mom, I could ever get the opportunity to meet Hormozi and to become his number one community, because he's obviously part of the Skool as well, Hormozi Assam. I never imagined that it would be something like that possible. But then I saw that vision when I got introduced to a Skool. And honestly, it's not just about me being number one. We became number one in November. Basically, we broke all of the break record and it absolutely smashed all of the other AI communities and businesses and everyone. We went number one with 350K MRR with monthly recurring revenue in 1 month with the brand new community and offer. So that was basically our break record. And we had a huge gap with second person as well, like a huge gap. It's just like smashed everyone else. The reason we did that is because of this AAA model that we did. So we started training people about, okay, we have the software now, perfect, but the software by itself is not good enough because entrepreneurs need to have the entire roadmap. They need to have coaching, education. So you have the software to execute, but you need to have a roadmap about, okay, how can I make actually millions of dollars out of this AI automation? Because as you guys know that there's a lot of AI, right? When it comes to AI, and a lot of the businesses or people are confused. Like, they don't know what to do. They have the tool, but they don't know what is the purpose of this tool. Is this tool going to make me money? Can I actually monetize this tool? And that's what I actually noticed. That's why a lot of the times AI is end up being against them, and they lose time and money because they don't know how to use it. So that's when I saw the opportunity of, you need to educate people. You need to tell them, okay, this is a tool, this is N8N, this is a software, this is automation, but we're going to guide you through about how to make money out of this. Because you need to know how to make money. It's all about making money at the end of the day, learning and helping other businesses make money. So talking about our actual mission, impacting a million entrepreneurs, that was another thing that encouraged me to create a AAA agency, because these people that get trained, they go help other businesses. So imagine every person that get trained under our brand, they go and help hundreds of thousands of other businesses, in the next few years. And imagine that the impact is going to expand. So it's not just me about getting directly working for a million entrepreneurs, but all of these people that we train, they're going to help other businesses. And then together, we're going to use the AI to be able to help this business to scale. And instead of surviving, they're going to be thriving. That was the whole, going from surviving to thriving. But yeah, that's a whole model created. So back into the Skool game, okay? So that was a bit of backstory about it, the offer and what it was. Because I was created of that, obviously there's some other AI communities, stuff that teach people about AI, but because we had our own software that was specifically for marketing lead generation, and we also were integrating with other, like N8N, for example, with Meta, had all of that integration. We had the entire puzzle. So we don't give people like piece of the puzzle. We had the entire puzzle from A to Z. So that was a difference, I believe. That's what it was, a software company and education and community. We had everything. That put us in a very strong position that no one could compete with us. And yeah, so we created that model. We started training people. At that point, obviously that 315 people that came because our offer was $1,000 a month. And we got 315 people that came to that AAA agency at that time. Then all of a sudden we have a very strong brand position.
So you had $1,000 offer inside a Skool, and then
$1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month.
Yeah.
And so because of that, you drove in 350 people inside of it because you had a full tooled system. So you went, this here is, especially if you're in the AI automation space, there's just teaching you how to use the one level of the tool. Like this is how you technically use it. But it sounds like you went a step higher and you said, I'm not going to teach you just how to use the technology of the tool. Yeah. I'm actually going to show you how you can use it to get results, which one of the most important results are leads for business, which is in high demand.
Exactly.
And so it's a clear ROI if you're able to generate leads for businesses. I know that it was funny because I had a recent podcast guest who talked about how lead generation is important, but he would never, as an automator, ever work for a company that didn't have a model for them doing lead generation for themselves because he couldn't help them do it. And he said, there's no reason, as an automator, if I'm new to the space and I'm getting into it, I can't go and automate a process that you don't even know how to do.
Yes.
So what can I do? And so I'm trying to get good at N8N, and I'm trying to get good at lead generation.
Exactly.
And I'm trying to get good at business. Coaching. And I don't know how to do it. And now it's all of these things at once. So
100%.
Yeah. So it sounds like
so spot on. Literally so spot. That was the gap that I found in the market, literally, because I was like, and I had a coaching with Hormozi. Obviously, after I won the Skool game, it's not just a Skool game. I actually won the Hormozi's competition as well. I become number 3. And number 2, actually, I become number 3. We did 600. A month after, this is funny. A month after the Skool game, December, we did 615K MRR, 625K again with another community, and we won the Hormozi's speedrunner competition because Hormozi was running another competition that I participated. So coming to all of that again, it's just like showing about why we found a problem in the market. Okay, and that's the thing to everyone, right? The reason for our success is because we found a big problem in the market and we closed that gap. What was the problem in the market? AI, but still the businesses failed with AI. Why? Because exactly what he mentioned. Because people don't know, it's not just about AI. You need to have a system process in place prior to that. You need to have a great offer prior to that. You need to know who is your avatar prior to that. Once you have everything, the piece of the puzzle, then automation come in place. All of a sudden, everything put back together. Look at the automation. I have all of the missing pieces of the puzzle. No, the automation comes. You know what? No, you have the all the missing pieces of the puzzle. Automation miraculously gonna put the puzzle together. No, you have the complete puzzle. So that's exactly what I found in the market. Was like all of these businesses is still with AI. There's actually a fact that the businesses with AI still fail. It actually hasn't changed at all. And I'm like, what is the problem? Because the problem is people don't know how to use the tool. There are some fundamental issues. There's execution. People go learning. They don't know how to use it. They don't have a great offer. They don't understand about business. They don't understand about marketing. How can we make it easy? We created an offer, something that would be a solution, a complete puzzle to anyone that obviously want to start an AI agency and help other businesses. And also the other businesses came to us for the 20X that we basically created that branding. And it was 10X initially, then we upgraded to 20X. We have the whole formula around how we're 20Xing the businesses with AI. I guess it's just because we have all the missing pieces of the puzzle. That's it.
And there's the thing, when people look at automation platforms, there's a whole new, I would say, evolution, a revolution coming around AI and automations. And that when these things happen, what happens is the landscape gets flat. There's all these giants get toppled over and they're trying to figure out how do I stay on top of things. And then it becomes almost anyone's game. And when people see that, they realize that, oh, if I learn some of these core skills like AI and automation and these new skills that come up, I can learn with everybody else. And that would make it more or less a fair race again, comparing to like maybe oil barons or steel barons from 200 years ago. Maybe I probably won't get into the steel business anytime soon. But with this new technology and this new era, it gives everybody a fighting chance. At the same time, you still have to learn skills, the skills of AI and automations, the skill of marketing, advertising, the skill of business, time management.
Exactly.
Right? So talk to me about this. Around a couple of these agencies that you work with, these AAAs or these AMAs, where are some of the places where they usually fail? What are the trip ups that they usually make when people come in and they want to transform their lives, but they trip up? What happens?
Yeah. So good question. So one of the things actually we do in the community that we have daily coaching calls that we advise them. And the first thing that always comes to my mind when I want to coach someone is about, because they all come to us and they say, okay, I just talked to a gym owner. He wants to do this and that. How can I position my offer? How can I help with the use of your tool, N8N and other things? And the first thing that always comes to my mind about that, how can we attack that side of the business that could actually move the needle for them? It could 10X them, it could 20X them. Not everything. Like a lot of times I come with the idea, it's all about giving them that tricks, how you can do one thing for that business that could immediately, like within a week, can 2X the business. So we actually focus on that. And that's why a lot of them needs help. But those ones that fail, obviously, like we have over 700 students, active students. So that's quite a bit and it's growing every day too. Those are fun that fail, to be honest. It's just they don't take any actions. It's as simple as that and give up. That's normal entrepreneurs, right? Yeah. They just purchase something, they're excited, but the first thing that get hard is just don't do anything.
That's the sneaky bit, is that there's a false misconception that happens with anything. Whether I'm purchasing an N8N license, a gym license, a school membership, is that they feel like the purchasing of the thing solves the problem. But that's really just opens the door of possibility.
Exactly.
That allows you to walk through it and apply effort. Because learning automation, learning business skills, all these things take time and energy. You can fast track it. One of the things that I did when I first got started with N8N and automations is that I joined multiple school communities and I hired an N8N coach back to back. And I go, okay, we're going to rapidly accelerate this process so I lower my friction as much as possible. So I'm around a community, I'm around someone that's inspiring me, and I can get through it as fast as possible. And then there's this container of accountability that can drive me forward. If that got me to a point of competence, then it starts getting fun. Otherwise, you bang your head against the wall quietly, scream into your pillow, and then quit at night.
We're similar because some of our students, they only have software.
Yeah.
And the software does come with a small community, but it's barely anything happening in there. they don't have that hand holding. Even though the software is pretty easy to use, like they can literally master it in less than a week because it's tech free basically. But still they need that coaching because entrepreneurship is hard. They get the clients, they get to talk to prospect, and they don't know even what to sell them, or they don't have sales skills, they don't have market, they don't have any skills. Those ones that are successful, they are the mastermind client. The mastermind client, I would say 80% plus are successful and they're making a lot of money. So our goal is to take them from 0 to 50K a month in 12 months. That's basically what we're helping them. We have a lot of them that achieve that goals, huge testimonials, and we have like hundreds of testimonials. But yeah, they are successful because they get in that hand holding. They learn about the entrepreneurship skill as well as just the tech part of it or AI part of it. Okay, you have the skill set to help, but you don't know how to create offer. You don't know, you can't go through the emotional challenges. You don't even know how to talk to client. You have zero sales skill set. Like you could having the best skill automation person. If you don't know how to sell, you're not going to make any money.
Let's do a practical, tactical example of this. There was one that you shared with me before. There was a female who was in the medical space who was trying to figure out how to get leads. What was her result? And then talk me through how she got that result.
So she basically specialized using the leverage automation and our software to be able to help other businesses, okay? So his niche is our surgeons in Miami. And she came to me and was like, Atena, I know how to help the surgeon. I can find them leads. I can do the whatever, but I don't know how to sell. Like, what is the easiest way about it? Because if I go and use a lead target generally, they don't trust me because I have no branding. I was like, you know what? That's just a very simple story. Like, I tell you exactly how. It's not complicated. Literally just go to 10 surgeons in Miami and pretend that you want to get nose job. You want to get boobs job, whatever you want to do. Just pretend you want to do that. It gives you the opportunity to talk to them and build a trust. And then open the conversation. Say, hey, by the way, like I'm specialized in this. How do you guys get leads? And just to casually open the conversation. You go talk to 10, and that's the easiest way. Like it's not that difficult. Anything that you want to sell to anyone, sometimes you could do the traditional marketing. I know that we are all advanced here and talking about AI, but sometimes the traditional marketing works really well, especially if you don't have a brand. You don't have a brand or social proof.
When you are first starting out, a lot of people come up, I want to become an AI automation agency and I want to get clients and I want to figure out what do I need to do to get started? And it really depends on what level of skill sets you have. If you are comfortable sharing content online, social media is amazing. But if you're not, what do you do? And so one of the things that I've seen and I've recommended to people that have worked really well is you can become a regional star by finding your right audience, maybe going to whether it is a local commerce event, right? The city of Orange or the city of Huntington Beach. And you go to those local events, you present, you show off what you can do, you talk to those types of people, and you can get those leads. By getting in, becoming a regional superstar, it allows you to have the ability to get that going. One of the ways that I got started when I was trying to just do anything, I started reaching out to my friends that were entrepreneurs that were reasonably successful. And I go, hey man, I just want to get some reps in. What do you do? How can I automate it for you?
Yeah.
And that was
called like a Dream 100, basically the strategy you're discussing.
Oh, the Dream 100? Yeah, that Dream 100 is you make a list of the 100 companies you want to work for and then try to go get
Not
other.
just the companies, but like even your contact list.
Oh, you make a Dream 100 out of your contact list?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because those people trust you.
Oh, that's so funny. I just thought about that.
If each of you just literally go to your contact list, or you're part of Facebook group, you're part of a school group, you're part of the WhatsApp group, you can contact. If you go there, I can guarantee it's over 100.
So you want
That's like the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, from what I've heard about the Dream 100 was about the best companies that you ever want to work for. But you're talking about, I would say the reasonable Dream 100, like the friend next door Dream 100. That's a great move.
Yeah. And the other Dream 100, I'll give you an example. One of my clients was targeting the niche of the gyms, and he said that and he lives in Texas. He said that, okay, what's the best way to get it? I was like, go and sign up to 50 gyms. All of the gyms in Texas, honestly, I think he did a research, there's like nearly 100 of them or whatever. Go sign up to all of them to the free trial and then go there first week and then build a relationship with them. And then I can guarantee you're going to close at least 10. And his offer is a 20K offer because all of my students offer the really high ticket.
Yeah.
They're starting from 10K setup fee to 20K setup fee, all the way to 5K monthly retainer. And literally that's it. And guess what? The first week, I think he ended up signing up to 30 free trial and he already got 7 or 8 appointments.
So he did 70?
First week. The pipeline opportunity is that his offer is a 20K, 5K monthly retainer. So with 10 clients, you make 800K. This is basically the model we teach to everyone, right? And honestly, they're absolutely crushing it. And a lot of the times, that comes with the confidence. Because when we say to people, hey, you can just make 800,000 out of 10 clients. It was like, no, there's no way. Like, they have a small goals. They come to us like, oh, my goal is that my first year in the business, I want to make 100,000. I was like, yes, like first year in business, I'm at $1.8 million. Then I 10x the second year. What are you talking about?
There's a mindset shift, though, that I think a lot of people, it's going to be hard. What you're doing is you're swimming in the deep end right now that I think a lot of people feel uncomfortable about. A lot of people want to master the tools and the technologies before trying to build it. But I've seen a lot of the people that are more successful, they feel more comfortable asking for larger amounts of money to get started. Can you talk to me about, you're giving me some examples here, but how does somebody break that mindset shift? If I am wanting to sell AI advertising services or AI automation services, and I want to charge a big ticket, what are some practical, tactical things I can do to just get out there?
Honestly, that's very simple. Sell based on value, not time.
Okay.
That's it. As long as you start learning the skill set of the value, if you can give a value to business, it's not about your time. And I constantly battle with my students about that. Honestly, I was talking to one of my students last week. I'll give you an example. His offer was $2,000 crappy money for doing all of the automations and everything for a business. And I was like, why $2,000? He said, Atena, because it's half an hour fulfillment. I was like, crap that. It's not about half an hour fulfillment. What about the last 12 months that you've been learning this skill set? What about all of the sacrifices hard to build a skill set? What about the thousands of dollars that you paid to me for our software, for this and that? You're not considering any of that? I was like, look at the AI engineers in OpenAI and Google. Their salaries are $100 million a year, some of them. They're going to say, I only spend 40 hours a week and I shouldn't be charged? Like, it's about the value. You need to understand the value. And I constantly battle with it. It's about the value. But a lot of them do not understand about what services they need to provide to give value. This is something they need to learn.
I think there's two things here. Yeah. I think one thing is the mindset around I want to charge based on my time. That's one thing. And there's also a scarcity mindset of, I don't think I'm going to get another lead.
Yeah, exactly. A scarcity, 100%. That was the thing with my client. Because he said that, oh, what if he says no? I was like, trap that. Says no. You got to go find someone else. Like, why are you scared of it? You don't have confidence. You're selling yourself too cheap. And this is it. You're going with the scarcity. Oh, what if you're desperate? Like, the moment you're desperate, honestly, that's what the whole confidence is. You shouldn't be desperate. You understand about your skill set. And I was like, okay, let's map up about how much value you give to the business. Honestly, the things that he was building, one of the things he was building chatbot for them. Do you know what does it mean? You build a chatbot for a business that's $500,000. Do you know what that means? Because majority of the people that come to your website, I think there's a fact. I don't know exactly the numbers. We need to go at ChatGPT. But like 90% of the people leave if they cannot get the answer to the question straight away. This is basically what happened in the industry. I was like, building a chatbot is going to increase the conversion rate by X amount. Based on what you told me, this was traffic that they're getting, this much money that they're making, you are going to 10x the business, literally just by a chatbot. So you potentially can go and make this business, take the business from 500 to 5 million just because of a chatbot. I was like, oh my gosh, but it only takes me half an hour. I was like, it's not about the time, and I'm like, it takes you, just listen to me. It's about the value. And you work ass off you to learn this skill set, to master it, all of that. This is about the value. And you need to understand what automation gives value to the business. Let's say that I have a pain in my knee and you don't diagnose what the pain is. And I go to the doctor and I start tapping my back. I was like, what are you doing? Because they didn't ask the right question to diagnose it. That's why a lot of these entrepreneurs need to learn about diagnosing what is the constraint and pain for the business and what can move the needle. And sometimes business owners don't even know. Or they think the constraint is this, but actually the constraint that move the needle is something else. So once you become master in these and you know exactly, this is exactly the needle I need to put the needle in here. The moment I put the needle in here, this business is going to 10x. That's what you need to learn it, because that's how you can actually justify to charge high ticket.
Well, and there's actually another piece of justifying the price of what you're talking about. So we're tackling three things now. So one element was around, how do I break the frame of charging more value over time? Two, how do I overcome the scarcity mindset, which we just talked about it. If you don't feel comfortable going online, you can go in person. You can go show up at a doctor's office, at a plumber's place.
In person is the best, guys. If you don't have confidence to go online, honestly, when your niche is, put yourself in front of them by pretending you're a client. That's it. It's just so simple.
And we'll put it this way. For example, if you look at some comments can be harsh on YouTube or Reddit or whatever, no one would ever scream that at you in person. It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
So if you can get in front of people, there is much easier to get their attention and also to really have a person-to-person conversation. One thing I want to tap on, though, is that you do recommend to your community to offer guarantees a lot.
Yes,
because and the guarantees are important because part of it is you have certainty. And the thing is, I feel your certainty of you saying, I'm valuable, I can deliver your value, what I'm going to do is valuable. And also you have this backside mindset about, I also know if I don't do, I'm going to be that valuable. I will make sure that I honor this to you. So speak to that so that you can actually give people a holistic picture of this.
Yeah, 100%. So I talk about guarantees. This is super important, especially for those of you that watching it and you're a beginner and you're going to say, how I'm going to build the trust. Okay, good point. If you provide a guarantee that no one else in the industry can provide, and you take a risk out of that business owner, I can guarantee you can close a lot of them. And this is a guarantee that we teach them, okay? That's just like a secret, so write it down. I have a pen and paper and write it down. This is a guarantee. We tell to our students to guarantee some sort of result that they have control over. Again, they have control over. For example, you cannot guarantee the sales. Why? Because if you just give them a lead, how do you know if they have a sales system in the back end to be able to close those leads, or what is the skill set? So you don't have control over this. But what you have control is over your lead, the quality of the lead, and the number of appointments that you could book. Because with the automation and with the lead generation software, like Lead Hacker, you are able to generate a certain amount of leads for them. You know that for a fact because the software gives you an estimate. And with the automation part, you know that you could book them into the calendar. So you automate that process, you get the lead, you book your appointment because you automatically do all of the omnichannel marketing. So this is how you control. This is what you do. You go to a business and ask like 3 simple questions. It's about asking the right question. Remember, I brought the example of doctor. Ask the right question, okay, to diagnose. You're going to say, okay, so tell me, how many leads do you get a month and how much money do you make? You say, okay, I make 100,000 a month and 100,000 comes from 5, for example, purchases, okay? So that means that basically the average customer purchase is, for example, 20K. So you're telling me that each customer roughly bring you 20K. Yes. What is the customer lifetime value though? Over 5 years, they give us 50K, for example. Okay, so 50K for each client is a value. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, what is the close rate? That's the second question you ask. And I say, oh, close rate is 25%. So you're telling me from every 10 leads that I give you, you can basically, let's say that, okay, so you can close how many? 2? Yeah, 2. 2 or 3? No, 3. Well, between 2 to 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're telling me that you can close between 2 to 3 out of 10. That's right. So every 10 appointment, you close 2 or 3, and each bring you 50K in lifetime value. That's correct. What about if I tell you, I can guarantee this for you. I can guarantee 10 appointments a month for you. And then we're going to say, how? Because I guarantee it. How do you guarantee it? I go use my AI system and automation. I book 10 appointments for you every month. You can close roughly 2 or 3 of them based on the number that you told me, okay? So that generates you 100 to 150K in customer lifetime value that, okay? And I guarantee that. And this is what you do. You never ever provide money back guarantee. I hate money back guarantee because if that you couldn't achieve it, you don't have an opportunity to try it again. So this is what you say. If that doesn't happen, I work for you for free until we do. What it means that you have a 5K monthly retainer that to provide consistent, persistent 10 appointments for them a month. If you couldn't do 10, let's say first month you did 8, second month you don't charge it. So you give them not only the extra 2, you also give them another 10. That is going to be the win-win for the clients because they're going to say, oh, that's crap. That's so good. So you're telling me in the second month, if we couldn't achieve it, you bring an extra 2 that was missed from first month, plus another 10, yes. What happens if the second month we don't achieve it? You do another 3 months. You do another 3 months. And in that way, you're going to say, okay, is it a good deal? Is it a good deal? If you give me 20K, I set up the entire system for you. Everything from start to finish. Appointment, all of the email copy, all of the integration. I take care of the entire lead generation for you, okay? I give you 10 appointments a month, guaranteed. You give me 20K to set up everything and 5K a month. Is it a good deal that I can bring you $100,000 to $150,000 a month for only giving me how much? Like 20K plus 5K a month, so roughly $800 a year. If you do the calculation, you're basically going to say, that's why I love actually bringing my calculator in sales. I always bring my calculator, especially if they're left brainers and love numbers. And I say, okay, I'm giving you roughly $100K at the worst case scenario a month, adding up that much to your business times 12. So 1.2 million, okay? 1.2 million. And how much you're giving me? You're giving me $5,000 times 12, 60K plus 20K, 80K. So you give me 80K in 12 months, and I bring you an extra $1.2 million to business. And this is guaranteed. This is guaranteed. I'm in. Literally.
I've never had anybody bring a calculator on the podcast before. So it's been an honor and a pleasure. In terms of this, I think what you just did was, one, a masterclass of selling and framing.
Exactly.
And walking someone through a process of, I'd say, a both emotional and logical decision. But when it comes down to the numbers, it goes, if I'm going to get a 10x ROI, then of course it's a no-brainer. And if I know that if I don't get results, you don't get paid for that month until I get results, then there's no risk. There's no risk. So you're de-risking the person. You're making an incredible offer. And also what I like about this too, especially in the category of developing skill sets, instead of refunding somebody money back, what it is, it forces you to increase your effort.
Exactly.
Right. And so this is a compounding for your effort, which is another skill set that you need to develop. which is I got to get better at lead generation if I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Because I guarantee as soon as someone gets paid, the natural incentive is to demotivate. The same way that as soon as I give money to go to the gym, I will naturally be demotivated to not.
That's continue to motivate.
It's continue moving because you want to make sure that you get it. Because you are now what is called is aligned incentives.
Yes.
Aligned incentives are a magical thing as long as you can get that nailed down.
100%. The moment that you do that for 1 or 2 clients, everyone else line up. Literally. You gotta say, here we go. Okay. That's it. So it's not that difficult. Again, like to summarize it, focus on the value. What value you could bring into them, how much that value means. How much you add into a business. Are you 2X? Are you 10X? Are you bringing an extra $1 million a year? And always position your product as a yearly. Never ever try to have a one-off offer. Or do the automation and that's it, find another client. The best client are the ones that you continue to providing them value. So they continue to pay you.
I'm going to jump in on this one too. When I first started in N8N automation world, I was building one-off projects because I was getting my feet wet.
Oh my God.
And I'd build one-off projects.
Bad money.
And then what happened was this. I'd build one and then it would not work. And then I had to keep working on it. And then the project would continue to get extended out. And I did that a bunch of times. And then when the project was done, there'd be nothing else on top of that. And so I had to constantly stop and restart with getting these things. So what I did is I went through a whole process where I stopped doing the one-off projects and I switched to the retainer model. And when I switched to the retainer model, I would have leads come in and I would meet with them. I would record the meeting. I would go through and I would attempt to pitch the retainer model. I would stumble a bit, but then I would take that AI recording, I would feed it into an AI system and I'd have it go back and forth with me and go, okay, what could I improve? How could I speak? What would this look like? What did I do wrong? I get the framing. And then after a number of different of these pitches, I eventually got that model down and I switched over. And because of that, with the AI agency, the revenue all went up because then when you get a client and you keep them happy, the lifetime value of that client goes through the roof.
Exactly. And that's called like a bad money model. What he was doing before now is a good money model. If you read the Hormoz's money model, but 100% you need to have return on continuity. Never ever, listen this, write it down, never ever provide a one-off offer because you're continuously looking for a new client. And I'm telling you, if you want your clients to become a raving fan and continue spending money with you, focus, put your needle on where the pain is. Put the needle is where the value is, okay? And most of the time, the value in any business is what? Lead generation.
Yep.
So that's why going back to Skool again, and why I stick to the day no one could break our record is because lead generation, all with AI automation, you have a framework around it, and then all of a sudden you can go and make millions of dollars.
It's finding a core problem, which you did. And lead generation isn't the only core problem. It's just the one that is fairly universal for any business. But it could be that. It could be sales. It could be fulfillment. It could be re-engagement. There's so many things inside of a business that you could figure out. But you have to figure out what is a core problem that you know exists versus just any old thing. Then you want to find the right niche to get into. That's something that people would have a pain. You don't want to definitely do it for people that don't have a business. I've made that mistake before where I was trying to service low-level coaches in the coaching program. It was not a great, it became a giant therapy session. Not awesome. And so you figure out, okay, then you say, okay, cool. Painful problem. I found the right niche. Now I got to figure out what my offer is. We just went through a couple of different ways you can do offers. We talked about the retainer model. We talked about the lead generation, the risk reversal, and putting yourself in the right frame going through that. And how, if you can't find leads, how you can find them in person, how you can find them online, how you can make your Dream 100 list.
Exactly.
All these things are incredibly powerful. Is there any other insights that you want to share with people about this as we start to come towards the end of this podcast here?
Yeah. So definitely, as he mentioned, a lot of the businesses, they don't have lead issues necessarily. There are issues of fulfillment or sales or other things. You can use AI automation for all of that. Literally, like we have over 100 automation in our business, but I didn't talk about it, over 100. And we position ourselves in the market and rewards best like AI marketing expert and the platform. But however, we're using automation in all the area of the business. But again, it's come back to identifying what the issue is, the pain is. If the issue is lead, and I'm telling you, majority of the businesses, the pain is actually lead. Like this whole marketing and lead generation, they don't have automation in place. They have bad result, bad ROI, or they're spending so much money on the marketing. A lot of them comes with that. And then after that, this is another thing. Remember I told you can make $800K out of the 10 clients? That's only for the generation part, by the way. There's upsell, something called upsell. The moment that you create consistent, persistent lead for them, then the next step is what? Let me go and automate your sales. Let me automate your fulfillment. Let me automate this and that. That's what I'm saying. Like, give so much value to a client, and I'm telling you, they're gonna continually spending money with you, to even up to millions of dollars one client. Because with this AI automation, it never ends. You start with the lead generation, go all the way to all the area of the business, sales, marketing, fulfillment, and CRM management, so much, like all of the automation with the Slack integration and all of that. It's just a continuous journey.
Value add, foot in the door.
Yeah.
Could be lead generation or find a painful problem, solve that problem, continue to do work, upsell, increase the value, increase the price, level the business.
100%. And you know what? Every time, that's a funny thing. Once you solve a problem for a business, actually you create a new problem for them. That's what I love about business. Because at every stage of the business, you have the lead generation issue fixed, but they're going to say, oh, holy crap. No, we don't have a proper sales system in place. We cannot handle this volume of the leads that are coming through. Then what does it do? It creates an upsell opportunity. Then it goes, no worries at all. Don't worry about it. I'm going to use N8N. I'm going to put together an entire sales pipeline for you. I'm doing this and that. I'm resolve that issue. And guess what? Once you resolve the sales issue and I sell a lot, then they have a new problem fulfillment. And they go, let me go and create a perfect automated AI-driven CSM system for you. Again, it's just a continuous journey. You just need to understand, putting it in the biggest pain phase. Then once the new pain is created, then you go and attack them as the right time comes.
Absolutely. Tina, thank you so much for being on the show. Honor and pleasure. If people want to find you, how do they do that?
So we got a large community in the Skool. It's called AIpreneurs. So you can look me up. Obviously, I got a branding too. So you can go and look me up on Instagram, Atena Pegler. And also, if you guys want to have a free trial of our software, we got a free trial as well. It's lab.aipreneurs.com. You could get a free trial, and that's it. Instagram, free trial, LinkedIn, Skool. Yeah, that's pretty much the top 4 resources.
Beautiful. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor being your guest in the podcast. Absolutely. Cheers.
All right, let's go enjoy the sunset now.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye now.